it's Kathleen the Singing Cat, and welcome back to another trip report for trips day 7 and 8 of my big 2017 November trip. So I'm technically starting with a little bit of day 6 as the very end. Can't tell, I'm wearing my Marvel t-shirt because Universal actually has the rights to Marvel before Marvel actually became a Hollywood thing. So there's actually stuff to do at Universal that have to do with Marvel. So that's why when you go to Disney World, you won't see a lot of Marvel movie characters because Universal already has the rights. But if you go to Disneyland, you'll see more. On late day 6, we took an Uber from Disney's Pop Century up to Universal to stay at our on-site resort for 2 nights. We stayed at the Loews Royal Pacific Hotel on Universal property because we just got a really good deal with tickets, and it also gives you an express pass that goes along with it. So the cost, as of today of filming, it's about $220 a night. The express pass, depending on what day of the year you go, could go anywhere from like $90 to $115 a day. It's a better deal than going with a lower priced hotel. And I just hate lines so much. So the express pass is really important to me. So my travel agent at Dreams Unlimited Travel, she suggested that that would probably be a better deal, that I would actually save a little bit money if I was going to get the express pass anyway. The express pass is actually your hotel card, and I actually had been to Universal already, so I already had a Harry Potter lanyard that has like the perfect like card holder for those things. So I brought that with me, and I just told my mom and my sister like, hey, it'll be really helpful if you have something to like hold that card in. So they actually bought it while they were there at Universal. So we checked in. It was kind of like the Polynesian at Disney, you know, kind of has that Pacific Islander kind of theme, which was fun. It was cute, and they gave us leis to wear when we walked in. So super cute, super fun. But we were just so tired. We just really wanted to get to our hotel, and we were kind of hungry. So we ordered room service. We ordered a pizza for me and my sister to share. But we just kind of went to bed pretty early because we knew we had to get up super early for Universal. The good thing about staying at any on-site Universal hotels is that they also let you into one or the other parks an extra hour early. And usually it's to ride the big rides like the Harry Potter rides and the Mummy ride. We got into Universal's Islands of Adventure hour early, and we went straight to the Harry Potter world to Forbidden Journey ride, which is the best ride at Universal. It is my favorite. I love that ride so much, and most people will agree with me. It is the best ride at Universal. Most rides have 3 lines. They have the standby line, they have the single rider line, and they have the express pass line. So we got into the express pass line because not every person staying on an on-site resort gets express pass included. It's only those staying at the 3 higher tiered hotels. And the Royal Pacific is one of the lowest of the 3 tiers, so that's also another reason why we went to that one. So we went into the express pass line, but in that line, it was still pretty long. In the middle of that line, one of the employees opened up the line, and for single rider, like, hey, if you want to go single rider, you can go through this line. We're like, done. We're ready to go into that line because we just care about getting on the ride. We don't care if we sit next to each other. We just hightailed in there and we just got on the ride. It turned out that the single rider line was the faster one. So my sister, she had held our stuff while me and my mom went on. So she went on by herself. In the single rider line, she was done within 10-15 minutes. All 3 of us were done. It took us an hour to go through that ride. The funny thing is, once that first hour was done, it actually dropped from like an hour wait to 10-minute wait. So if we had gotten there like a normal person who hadn't stayed on property, if we gotten there right when the park opened, we would have not had very much of a wait. It was really annoying. We took the Hogwarts Express over to Universal Studios to ride some rides. We went to the little restaurant that they have there and we tried the breakfast. I wanted to be adventurous and try like an English breakfast. It was gross. If any of you from England are watching this, I'm sure it tastes good to you, but it was some of it was dry and some of it was just like the taste was bland and the texture being sometimes was also a little gooey. All of that together, like some of it was dry, which was weird, and like I remember the sausage being a little bit dry, and my sister went with the safe choice, but I wanted to be adventurous. I wanted to try new things. I love trying new foods, but sometimes when you try new foods, you try stuff that you're like, never again. Yeah, so I won't be having the true English breakfast anymore. One of my sister's friends was actually a staff member there, and we went on the Men in Black ride, which is another like shooter game, which I love. I love those rides. And we went on the single rider because we had her friend who didn't have an express pass, so we just went on the single rider with her. We tried going on to the ET ride, but it got shut down while we were in line, so we had wasted like 20 minutes being in line for then a ride we didn't go on. And then it started to rain, and we were trying to find lunch, like place to sit down. Burger joint that we ended up going to was like jam-packed. So it was a Sunday, so it was the Sunday before Thanksgiving. So it was jam-packed with people. It took us forever to get food. I think we ended up taking an hour and a half out of our day just trying to find a place to eat food. And of course, once we were done eating, that's when the rain stopped. But we did go on Jimmy Fallon ride. It is a virtual queue, so you're supposed to go up to them, get a return time. But if you have an express pass, they let you go in. They split you into colors, and then you just have to wait for your color to be called. And then there's kind of like this room where you're waiting that has like interactive things to do, and then there's like a performance that's there as well. Some people don't like the Jimmy Fallon ride. I actually found it fun. It was one of my favorite rides that I went on that whole trip. Like, it was very enjoyable. Me and my mom, my sister. So once we did all that, we wanted to go to the Gringotts in Harry Potter. Wanted to go on that ride. And once again, me and my mom went on it, and then while my sister held our stuff and then she went on it. We made a really bad mistake. Pro tip. We had held each other's things and then took turns going on the ride because we didn't want to put our bags into the lockers. It's not something you have to pay for, but most of these rides require you to put your bags in lockers. That was a huge mistake. It made every ride an hour that it would take out of our time. And me and my mom, we actually sometimes went on the single rider instead of the express pass because it was actually a shorter line. That is another pro tip. So there's two pro tips. Just put your stuff in the locker, get over yourself, bring a smaller bag so you can put it in a locker. And then pro tip 2, if you have the express pass, don't assume that that is the shorter line. Ask the employee who's standing outside, because they will know which one's faster, the single rider or the express pass. They'll tell you which one. And you know what? Half the time, single rider was faster. But the Jimmy Fallon ride, as I said, that one didn't have a single rider line. It only had the express, so the express pass definitely made more sense for the Jimmy Fallon ride. So once we were done with Gringotts, I walked around while my sister was on the ride and kind of went into the shops, got some like my Honeydukes food because I love getting like some of the candies and stuff to take back with me or to give to friends. We got on the train back to Islands of Adventure, and that's another pro tip, the Harry Potter train ride, Hogwarts Express. It's different show on each way. So definitely do it twice going back and forth because you'll see two different things. And that was something that also does not have a single rider line. You'll have to do express pass for Hogwarts Express or else you're going to be waiting. And I think it was like an hour and a half to get on the Hogwarts Express in the normal queue. So you'll want the express pass for the train. But once we got off the train, my mom's like, you know what? I'm tired. I'm done. I'm just going back to Ella. And so, not gonna lie, I love my mom dearly, but she had bragged so much that she walks all the time, that she could do this. Yeah, no, Mom. Gotta know your skill level when it comes to Disney and Universal. It was our day 7 of our trip, and she was just done. You know, she was a trooper. So she went back to the hotel. Me and my sister were like, finally. And so we're like, oh, we're going to do one more ride. I think we ended up doing Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
And then the King Kong ride. I love both of those. So much fun. The King Kong ride was new, and that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that one. We had the energy level for one ride a piece. So she went on the Hulk, heck no, and I went on the Spider-Man ride. Spider-Man ride is also one of my favorites. It's very similar to a ride in Six Flags in Texas that I love. That's my favorite. So much fun. And Universal's, it's better. Spider-Man ride is awesome. And I was actually done sooner, even though my sister could go on the Hulk ride by herself. And I took her stuff because I was allowed to take stuff on the Spider-Man ride, but she wasn't allowed to take the stuff on the Hulk ride. So once we were done, we then got out, and it was probably about 6 o'clock when we were done. So we had pretty much done all the highlights of pretty much what we wanted to do, but I felt like I missed out. Like I felt like there was other things that I really wanted to do. So because the day hadn't technically ended, my mom was flying out pretty early the next morning, but me and my sister were flying out in the afternoon evenings. Me and my sister had planned on adding on to our ticket. So if the ticket day is not over and you decide you need another day, instead of buying a whole nother 1-day ticket, you can just upgrade to a 2-day ticket. So it's less. So that's what we were gonna do, but we wanted to go to a movie that night with our mom in City Walk. So we're at the hotel, we were on our way. I all of a sudden felt so sick. Like I wanted to puke, kind of sick. And I just like, guys, I gotta stop. I can't do this. I feel really sick right now. Like I feel like I'm gonna puke. It was like my worst nightmare. I mean, granted, it was the very tail end of my vacation, but still, I just felt really, really bad. And my mom, she's like, okay, well, we won't go to a movie. You and your sister can do that tomorrow. And so I went back to the hotel and just watched movies. And we still had some pizza, so I ate some pizza. And I actually felt a lot better. It turned out I was just hungry. And unfortunately, if I have really low blood sugar, it feels like I need to puke. So you'd think the last thing I'd want to do is eat food. But I did. And then my mom and my sister ate dinner at one of the restaurants at the Royal Pacific and then came back, and then we just crashed. We were exhausted. And then day 8 was our very last day. My mom flew out early the next morning, and then me and my sister slept in. I was okay. I was a little stuffy. I think I had caught something. And I just I wanted to, blow my nose and ugh. So me and my sister kind of had like a brunch. Unfortunately, we just missed their actual brunch. So we had like an early lunch at the little restaurant there. It was okay. Unfortunately, we had too much food and we couldn't really take it back with us, but oh well. We decided then to go to a movie because we still had plenty of time. So we got all of our luggage together and we took an Uber to a Regal because we wanted to watch Bad Moms Christmas, and it was the closest place that had the earliest time that we could go. We took all of our luggage into the Regal. No one was there. It was a Monday in the middle of the day, so no one was there, so we had the whole theater to ourselves. After the movie's over, my sister left because my flight was later, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna watch another movie because when I get sick I have to eat a lot. And so I bought food. I watched the Justice League movie while I was there, and then once I was done, I called an Uber to take me to the airport. I checked in my luggage so I could just be done with it. I tried to get a pedicure, but it was so expensive, a pedicure in the airport. Oh my gosh, no. And it wasn't that good. It was kind of crappy. It was a crappy pedicure. In fact, I went back a week later to my normal person and I was like, please fix this. It was really bad. I got home pretty late, about close to midnight, and I was exhausted. Another pro tip, take a day off after your vacation, at least a Disney Universal vacation, because you will be so tired. You'll just need a day to just recoup and realize where you are. So the good and the bad. The Express Pass is worth it for some things, but single rider definitely is just fine. But if you're a family that can't do single rider, yes, definitely do Express Pass. You will get through things a lot faster and it's amazing. And also the rides that we did go on were great. I love Universal rides. There's so much. And I think I had a better value for what we paid for the hotel that also gave us the Express was about the same. If you take out the price that it would have been that I would have had to spend anyway for the Express, really, it was about the same as a value, but the hotels are 10 times nicer, like super nice hotels. So the hotels at Universal are way better than Disney for the price. Let's be real here. I'm flying home. I love the fact that I waited until later that day. I think that just gave me an extra day that I didn't have to worry about traveling. So I got to enjoy, Orlando more for an extra day. Although I was sick, so part of me kind of wanted to be home, but I like that I had that extra day. The things that I would change is I would not take my mom to Universal again. It was just not her speed. It's not, to be honest, meant for people at a slower pace unless you have several days at Universal, whereas we only had one full day to really enjoy Universal, and it was not my mom's speed. A lot of the types of rides, it was not things she was interested in. So, I mean, granted, it was the very end of our week-long vacation, so that could be also it too. Not to take turns riding just because you don't want to put your stuff in lockers. That was a mistake. We wasted so much time. We could have done twice as much as we ended up doing. I'll never do that again. Just put my stuff in a locker, bring a smaller bag so it can go in the locker. Never again. Definitely the airport experience with the pedicure is just way too expensive. I'll never do that again. Unless someone else is paying for it, I'm not gonna get a pedicure again at the airport. So we are done talking about my trip videos. Oh my gosh. And guess what? As of day of filming is 9 days until I go back. Oh my gosh, and especially Universal, I am going to be at Universal again, and this time is going to be a bit different experience. I'm not staying on property, but I'm going to leave you with a special surprise on what we're doing at Universal. I hope you all have a great and fantastic day. Please, if you have any questions or if you have tips about Universal that maybe you're like, Kathleen, this would have made your life a lot easier, please put it in the comments below. And if you like these videos and want to know more, please subscribe and like these videos. Have a great and fantastic day, and we'll see y'all real soon. Bye.